All right, this is the ball hitch that I ordered right after I put down my deposit for a boat with Cabela's. That was about a month ago. I've been looking at this thing every day since, and there's no boat. Let's have a 3-hour drive to Cabela's and I'll tell you why. The story goes back about a month, and I wanted to warn you because not just of you maybe thinking about buying a boat, but if you're of a certain age, you have seen the dissolution of Montgomery Wards, then Kmart, then Sears, and I definitely think that Cabela's and Bass Pro, they're the same company. I wouldn't be surprised if they declared bankruptcy tomorrow. Now, I haven't looked at their financials, but I'm just saying based upon what I'm seeing in trying to buy a large ticket item, like in my case, a pontoon boat, a Ranger brand pontoon boat, that their ability to execute is shocking. Well, let me tell you why. First, I'm going to assume that you've bought a new car before. Once you've put down money on a new car, well, they usually don't even give you a chance to do that, you know. They want to close, get you in that new car, and off the lot that day. I mean, just, let's go, let's get you in that car, let's get you out of here. Buying a boat, at least at Bass Pro Cabela's, has been so different. You put down a $500 deposit. Well, you know, let me back up even before that. Part of the sales pitch is pick out a boat on our lot, or if you don't see one you like on our lot, look at the Cabela's and Bass Pros around us, and if you see one you like better, we'll bring it to the dealer closest to you. Well, I found out that's not true. If you want to call it a lie, I mean, that's fine, but it's definitely not true, because there wasn't something on the lot that I wanted, but there was a little over 3 hours away from my local Bass Pro shop. I tried to get them to bring that boat from one state into my state. Would have made things much easier for me, of course, because registration and so forth, all the paperwork would happen in my home state, paying sales tax in my home state, would have been wonderful. Well, my local Bass Pro said, no, they weren't going to do it. So that left me the choice of driving the over 3 hours to the adjoining state to get it from that dealership, or not get it at all. And because I thought it was worth it, over the phone I put down the $500 deposit, and I thought, you know, a few days later I'd have the boat. No. You've heard the stories about you know, boats aren't really mass produced, so if you buy a boat, you're going to take it out the first time, you're going to see some problems with it, you'll have to take it back in, and even though it's brand new, have these things fixed or repaired. Well, my situation, it just fell apart right from the beginning, and part of it I attribute to Cabela's and Bass Pro really being set up to sell things off the shelf. That's what they're used to. You want to buy something, the customer goes in, they pick it up off the shelf, they take it to the register, and they're gone. Now, in my case, and my very first hearty recommendation to you is don't buy or add anything to that boat. That will mess them up. In my case, it was a fish finder. Oh, I'm telling you, the story probably would have had a happy ending if I had just said, don't touch anything on that boat. Don't even do a pre-sales check. Just give it to me now. Let me walk out, and I'll handle everything that comes up. Because my goodness, the first thing that happened was wonderful. My sales rep and a guy, I want to name him because he was so good, but maybe I shouldn't. He got on the phone because he was an expert on the depth finders. walked me through my needs, helped me select the right one for me, and the sales rep said, all right, we've got a 7-inch and a 9-inch. Same will probably be true for you. I'll go out and take pictures of it on the dash, you know, so if it covers up an important dial or something, you can tell me which one you want. Yeah, that never happened. That never happened. And as time ticked by on that first day, I said, look, let me just send you one from Amazon, because, you know, if you can't take the pictures right now, I understand. I'll just pick one from Amazon, because they said that the one I wanted wasn't in stock. I'll have it there. It'll be there either it was next day or 2 days. And this is what you'll find if you offer that. They won't explicitly say no, but they'll say, we're not really sure how that would work. So, yeah, you're gonna have a problem there. You're gonna be forced to use the Cabela's Bass Pro website. Now, what that will do to you is you'll pay a little bit more, and the shipping will be much slower. So, if I was talking to corporate, I would say, what you guys need is to change your website, and if somebody's buying a high-ticket item, like a boat or a side-by-side, that the order, you should be able to select, this is for a boat or a side-by-side, new order, so that they move your item up to the top of the queue, so you get your item much faster. So because I didn't hear back from my sales rep on, you know, same day, I went ahead and went to BassPro.com and I ordered the fish finder, paid a little bit more to get the slower shipping, but I had to push this sale forward. You know, when you're ready to get a boat, you're ready to get a boat. You don't have time to, you know, ask a question, wait a day, get an answer, reply, wait a day. Well, that's gonna unfortunately be what happens. In fact, the sales guy was probably busy, and when I finally did a week later arrive at the local store, the sales rep didn't tell me. I got a notification by email, and I called and let my sales rep know, hey, the fish finder's there, get it installed and I'll come get the boat. Well, I didn't find out till later, not from the sales rep, but from the boat sales manager, that they needed an extra long cord, and so the fish finder install had been delayed, and I had no word as far as when it would be finished or when a pre-sale inspection would ever take place. Weeks go by. I'm usually calling them to get updates, not always, but usually, and just before delivery, like I was ready to come the next day, they said, you know, this radio that's in the boat has some bubbles on the faceplate. It works, but it doesn't look good. And they sent me photos, and it's a new boat. You're spending a lot of money, a lot. You know, you could spend $70,000 on a bass boat if you want to. Mine was that much, but Ranger pontoon boats, buddy, yeah, you're looking at what, a minimum of $40,000. So I was like, yeah, I can see why you sent me that photo. Thank you. I don't want what looked like a beat up radio on a new boat. So they said, all right, we'll cover it under warranty. We'll have it shipped in, and we'll get it installed. Then you can pick up the boat. Well, again, just like with the fish finder, how long will it take you to get in the replacement radio? Well, we're not sure. Okay. Well, look, I can get that same brand off Amazon. I'll have it to you next day or in 2 days. Yeah, well, same situation. We're not real sure how that would work. We'll just go ahead and do it under warranty. So, you know, fine. All right, whatever. So I let a week go by and call, because it's been so long at this point. Every day, every time I get in and out of the car, I'm looking at that ball hitch on the back of my SUV, realizing that boat, and I don't have a delivery date. It's just when they get around to it, they get around to it. So I'm about ready to come pick it up, because radio can't take that long, right? They told me just be a few days. So I called, hey, can I come Monday and pick up the boat? And the sales manager says, you know what? Something happened with, with them shipping that radio to us. And it looks like it's shipped now, but we don't know when it's going to be in. At this point, once you've lost a month of the summer and you still don't have a delivery date for the boat, a boat which, by the way, has been on the lot this whole time, and by the way, it's a 2024 boat, and I'm trying to buy it in the middle of 2025, and I had been wondering, why couldn't they sell a 2024 boat? What's going on with the boat? And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with the boat. Cosmetically damaged radio, sure. I mean, maybe that would turn off some people, but maybe people are getting the word that it's going to be difficult to get a boat from Cabela's and Bass Pro. It's not going to be easy. You know the old saying about the 2 best days in a boat buyer, when you buy it, when you sell it. Well, by the end of that first month, I had lost the joy of the first day of buying the boat, because there was no light at the end of the tunnel. Well, every time there was a light at the end of the tunnel, it got moved back further. Let's wait. We got it. Later. And finally, when they said, still don't have the radio, don't know when it'll be here, don't know when we'll get it swapped. Although, to their credit, they said it should be fast. But you hear so many of these things. It shouldn't be long. We'll get right on it. All those phrases that'll make a customer feel good, but when they never happen, at that point I said, you know what? I had just lost all my joy, and I said, let's cancel it. Give me my $500 deposit back, and they said, all right, no problem. And happily, they gave me my $500 deposit back that day. But I had forgotten about the money I'd paid for my fish finder, depth finder, however you want to refer to it. About a $700 model. It's from Humminbird, although it seems like with electronics, all the brands are about the same these days. So I emailed right back and said, I forgot to ask about the refund for the depth finder. I didn't hear anything for over 24 hours. And so, well, actually, that's not true. The sales manager didn't reply to my question, what do I do for the refund for the depth finder? But the sales rep did reply, and he said, I'll get with the sales manager, and I'll let you know when the refund's done. Over 24 hours from his reply go by, I haven't heard a word, and you get so burnt out waiting for a boat for over a month, or a month, that you're like, just give me my refund so I can be done with this saga. You've ruined what would have been a wonderful life experience. In some aspects, it probably would have changed my life, actually. It's so regrettable. So then, because it's Saturday today, I email the store manager, and I said, first of all, your guys lost a sale, a big one. I thought you should know. Wasn't mean about it, wasn't angry, didn't go into a long list. But which I'm kind of doing with you, because if you're thinking about buying a boat, you got to be prepared with what might be coming down that tunnel for you. So I said, I have asked for a refund on my fish finder. That was over 24 hours ago. Haven't gotten it yet. Can you please get involved and give me that refund? So he calls me later this Saturday, and he says that because I got it through their website, the Bass Pro Cabela website, that he needs the actual card for the refund. Or he could send me a gift card for Cabela's Bass Pro. And I really don't ever see myself going in a Cabela or Bass Pro again. Not out of be a vindictive person, but it's just, you don't know how bad it'll get with that retailer. So you want to stay out so you're not subjected to this again. So yeah, I don't want the gift card. I guess I'll have to drive in to give you physically my credit card for the refund. Now, there's two things about that you should know. Number one, I have to give them my physical credit card for the refund. However, when I bought it online, of course, they didn't have my physical credit card. So they'll take your money without the card, but to give it back, they need the card. Pretty weird. Have you ever had to go to Amazon and physically give them your credit card to get a refund? All right, the second thing about it that I mentioned is they're over 3 hours from my house. So I am driving the over 3 hours, and I will be there. Arrival time is 7:22 this evening. Then I'll turn back and drive over 3 hours home. So what will that put me at? 10:30 at night before I'm finally done. And by done, I mean I'll be free of the spider webs that have entangled me since I began the purchases. And as I drive, by the way, I still have my ball hitch on the back of my SUV. Just to remind me, should I want a boat again, I can just look at that ball hitch and say, man, it's not worth it. So, I have never seen in person this boat that I was trying to buy online. When I get to, it's a Cabela's, I'll see if the boat is around anywhere, and if it is, I'll take a quick video so y'all can see at least the boat that I was so close to buying. Well, I tried to buy. I was ready to buy, but they were never quite ready to sell it. Gosh. All right, stay tuned. 3 hours from now, I'll be back and I'll show you the boat. Yeah, I'm driving in the rain. I've got 17 miles left before we're there. The rain is apropos. It sets the mood. It's like, yeah, this is kind of what the transaction has been like. Started out bright and sunny, right? And then worse and worse. So, if you want to see what just today only has been like, let's see, 3.5, well, not quite 3.5 hours down there, a little over 3 hours back, 7 hours total. Leave this video run on your phone or PC for 7 hours, and you'll see just what today is like in dealing with Bass Pro Shops, Cabela, and trying to buy a boat and failing. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind if you think about doing business there. I'll let you know when we're 16 miles out now, and then when we pull in, we'll see together the boat I would have bought had they been able to have it in the shape it should have been in all along. So that'll be interesting. All right, we're just about there. This is exciting. After over 3 hours of driving, here I am, man, on this road. You know, there's been people that have driven this road for decades, know it like the back of their hand. I don't know jack about this road. I don't even really know where I am. Of course, 30 years ago, I wouldn't be following GPS. I'd be following a paper map and probably getting lost. Of course, GPS isn't perfect. It just let me go past where I should have turned. I had to do a U-turn that got me here. What I'm going to do is, when I turn into the lot here in just a second, see if I'm going to drive around the lot, see if I can find the boat that in my mind I still think of as my boat, which is kind of crazy. And yes, I have the ball hitch on the back of my car, but I'm not here, as I always imagined for the past month, to hook the boat up and take it home. Well, not take it home, probably take it straight to the lake, right? But it's not happening. I have to do this to get a refund on my credit card. And what I'm getting a refund on is not in my car. I've never had it. It was shipped from the store's website to the store. But to get the refund, they have to have the physical credit card. So I've driven across state lines, and we'll be there. I'm not making the video here because I'm terrifically upset. A lot of it's just disappointment. Sure, I'm upset, but it's just sad. I mean, in 10, maybe 20 years, Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's won't be around anymore. They'll just be a name like Kmart or Sears or Montgomery Ward. Gosh, tragedy. Hurts families, it hurts everybody, right? So, I'm hoping that maybe some younger people will watch and maybe learn from it. Learn in what respect, right? Well, if Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's was really good at sales, they would have had somebody call, certainly before now. But at worst case scenario, while I was making this 3-hour drive, would have worked and said, hey, they would have tried to salvage the sale. What can we do? And, even if it's huge deals, sometimes it's just something very small that will keep your customer. I don't know. Offer to detail the boat. Offer a free oil change on the boat. A free life jacket, Offer something. But these guys didn't, It's so weird. It is so weird. You just wonder what happened to people wanting other people's business. Being willing to, I guess the saying might be willing to work for the business. Let me work for your business. Let me earn it. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Let me earn your business. What happened to that? So I'm going to go in with my credit card, tell them who I am, and hopefully they'll give me the refund. Well, the rain is somewhat let up. That's good. The fish finder, depth finder I'm getting, well, I'm not getting it anymore. I mean, I'm getting a refund on was $600. But for my purposes, for what I was going to use the boat for, it would have been just perfect. It's a lot of money, but and speaking of that, on the very boat I was going to buy, thank goodness for YouTube, right? I was able to see the same boat 7 years ago, and it was a video from Ranger. And 7 years ago, the boat was $11,000 cheaper. $11,000 cheaper 7 years ago for the same boat. And the boat today does not have a Lowrance fish finder, depth finder already installed in the center of the console, as it was 7 years ago. So with shrinkflation, they just took that away. No more pre-installed depth finder, fish finder. And there's this empty space, right? Where I guess now they say, well, you can put your wallet right there on the center of the dash in a little pocket, because they no longer give you the depth finder. I guess, did somebody think, well, somebody in a boat doesn't need to know how deep it is? Yeah, we need to know how deep it is. And you took it away. Wow. Also, the fencing, the metal that goes around the boat is not as good as it used to be 7 years ago. You could see that there used to be the gray aluminum railing that went along. I don't know if it was decorative or it added strength. You have to imagine it added strength. Well, they've deleted that. And also the captain's chair. The captain's chair, the guy sits in it to drive the boat. That's what I mean. It used to recline, have armrests, be thickly padded. Well, they changed that. Now there's no armrest. It can't recline, and it looks a little inexpensive, let's put it that way. So they've let the boat be hit by both shrinkflation and inflation, and it just appears that you get less for your money now. Gosh, I hate that too. I used to teach at a university, and when we got to a certain business subject, I would ask the students, who are almost exclusively, let's say, well, definitely you could say 30 and less. There's a few outliers, but maybe 25 and less, really. And I would ask them, since they were younger, talking about cars, Can anybody tell me who the big three were? Or are, I guess I might have said. Are or were. The big three in automotive. Well, man, if you're 50 years old or more, maybe 40 years old more, it just flies into your head. The big three. Chrysler, Ford, General Motors. Right off the top of your head. I'm telling you, kids today have no idea who the big three are when it comes to cars. No idea. You know, they'll take guesses like, well, it's probably Mercedes-Benz, Nissan, Honda. Well, that's because American car manufacturers didn't listen to their customers. They kept building big, unreliable vehicles through the 70s and 80s. And when the Japanese entered the American car market, their cars were small, but they were not reliable. There's a lot of problems with them. But, you know, they listened to the customers, and they improved their quality and improved their quality until today. Well, what is there about today? Well, today, we don't even remember who the big three were because it was the Japanese who listened to the customers and gave the customers what they wanted. A reliable car with good gas mileage. People want inexpensive boats that are reliable, and neither one is really available right now. So it makes you wonder if either Amazon or Walmart will start to sell boats and will fill that gap for the American consumer. And if it does, well, it might be too late at that point for Bass Pro Shops at Cabela's. That's me again, not quite reading the GPS correctly. Might have to do with the, you know, let's blame it on the rain. Let's absolutely blame it on the rain for my 2 wrong turns now trying to get here. But, yeah, trying to earn your business. The last thing, last chance we'll give to Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop is when I go in to ask for the refund. Let's see if the store manager or any manager meets me and says, hey, oh, this would be diabolical if they said, tell you what, take the boat, keep it for a week as a test drive, and if you still don't want it, bring it back. That would, I'd be fish hooked to myself, right? If you try it, you're gonna buy it. Maybe apologize for all the delays, but yeah, let's see if they'll do anything while I'm in the store to salvage this sale. I mean, yeah, I can almost see your face through the computer monitor. Yeah, they're not going to do anything because it's not a big deal to them. It's like selling something off the shelf. Baseball, tennis racket, boats, just the same thing, although multiple times more expensive. But yeah, offering a test drive like car guys do, that would get people hooked. All right, well this should be it. It's kind of neat being in a different town. You see all kinds of businesses that you wish your town had. The roads out here are pretty darn nice too. Oh, we're here, ladies and gentlemen. This particular location is a Cabela's. You can see it now on the screen. Woo! I don't know if you heard that thunder and lightning or not. All right. Looks like a pretty big place. Ah, here's some boats. Gosh, in my mind, I thought, here's some boats for some poor suckers to try to buy. I don't see the one I was trying to buy. I wonder if it's around back. Cabela's world's foremost outfitter. That's interesting. Makes you wonder if Sears or Kmart or Montgomery Ward's had some fancy slogan before their last doors shut. A few more boats. They're all Bass boats. The one I was trying to buy was a Ranger pontoon boat. I don't see it. Oh, wait, there's some down here. Oh, they got quite a few. Don't see the one I was trying to buy yet. They all look a little bit about the same, but of course the one you want is special, right? Looking. There's all these boats. This is an awfully good selection. My gosh. All right. Well, I think I just drove past the one I was gonna buy. Let's flip around and take a look at it here. No, it's not it. That's odd. Because the only reason I was thinking that could possibly be, why would they do what they did to me? And it can't be true, but I thought, what if a friend saw this boat, a friend of an employee saw this boat after I'd put down my deposit. And so they said, we can't sell it to you. A guy put down his deposit, but I tell you what we could do. We could drag our boat, or we could drag our feet, not selling the boat until he finally quits one day in frustration. And he says, I don't want the boat anymore. And then we'll sell it to you. What do you say? That's the only thing I can think of. And if the boat that I wanted is no longer here, it really makes me wonder, God, could that have happened? All right. Well, I'm going to go in and get my refund. Sorry I couldn't show you the boat that I tried to buy. I'll let you know when I come out if they do anything to try to salvage the sale. Although if the boat is indeed gone, then it's over.